All right. Today we're going to talk about making a marketing plan. And I have to preface it and say it will actually get you clients if you do it. So if you guys are ready to transform your coaching business, let's go. If we don't know each other, I am Debbie Shadid. So glad you're here. I've been at this for over 2 decades. I am a tech teacher, a marketing expert, a copywriter. I'm a Canva trainer. Many of you guys have seen my Canva workshop. I help people design offers. I have coached thousands of women. I have been in business since 2000. My business has been through economies that were not good. It's been through all kinds of craziness, the pandemic. I've pivoted, I've shifted, and all the years I've had an incredibly successful business, honestly. I know how this works. I know how it is to be basically running the show by yourself. And now I work with a team as well. This is a profitable coach framework. These are the 4 essential components. I'm going to touch on almost all of these today about building your boutique style coaching business. I'll go into those a little bit deeper as we go. But the first premise is I want to help you be seen as a successful coach before you are one, because image is everything. Then I want you to become well known. And people are like, well, how do I do that? How do I build a reputation before I have one? That's the goal. And then I teach only marketing without ads. While I have run ads in the past, I don't run any ads now. And your business is much easier without ads. And then just how do you have a business that you enjoy, right? We could all work 7 days a week, and that's not the goal of being in business for yourself. The goal is to create freedom, and that looks different for all of us. It's really around what you have going on in your life and what you want freedom for. What I'm teaching you is part of our third component, which is to have a plan for marketing without paid ads. I pulled some examples of people who were at this training in 2023, 3 years ago in the spring. These people did what I said. They're all coaches who still have businesses, who are still coaching. Anne on the right is a published author now. She started out using what I'm going to teach today. She got active on social media. She started an email, and she wrote her book out of the content that she learned how to create from this training. Karina, who was never going to be on social media after this training, got active on social media as well. Carissa's another person who also has a book now. I talked to Carissa just a few months ago, and she is literally doing one of the slides that I'm going to show you guys today. She's doing one of those things. She screenshotted it during this presentation. She still is doing that same process for her social media. So everything I'm going to teach you today is of high value. Linda's another client who had not been active on social media today. She still is. At the time when she started posting, she tripled her followers. And then finally, Amy's been a super fun person to look back on. We've helped her not only get started on social media, but with her structure and all that she does to help blended families. This is all what's waiting for you today. It just takes the commitment and then doing the work that we talk about. I'm going to share a lot of ideas with you. This is how to create a plan. And in the end, while it might feel overwhelming while I go through it, it's going to feel too simple. It's going to be like, that's all I have to do. Marketing does not have to be complicated to be powerful. The only reason why your marketing feels hard right now is a couple of things. Either one, there's this tech question where you're like, I'm not really sure how to do that thing. I'm scared of doing it wrong. Or you're not sure how to say what you want to say. And you're like, does it sound okay? Once you learn that skill of the how-to part and you know what you're saying is right, you're on your way. You're just a couple of steps away from getting there. Marketing is the only way to get clients. The only way. The online space, I'm really against so many of those bro marketers because they make it seem like you can just become a coach and have a business. Marketing, I like to think of it as the ATM. If you picture that in your mind, every time you think, should I add another post? The answer is yes. The questions for you guys to answer yourself, you don't need to answer to me, is why aren't you marketing? When you are able to identify the why, like, well, I'm not sure how to post on social media. I'm not sure if I'm doing it right. Is it the editing part? Is it what I say? I'm not sure who I'm talking to. What's your biggest worry about it? It's probably like somebody's going to see me, and I would name who the somebody is. We have those people that we don't want to see us, but usually it's like your sister-in-law. Who is it? Figure out the answer to these questions so that you can see, okay, I just need to answer a few things. The business that I want is on the other side of answers to these questions. What marketing have you already done? I actually would love to hear that. I know some of you guys are putting in the chat right now what you do. So let's just define marketing as the process of creating or communicating or delivering information about your offerings. Now, I want to say we're not only talking about the offer, I'm talking about the ways that you support people. Are you creating ways? Are you communicating? And are you delivering information about your offers? I just did a social media post that I put on TikTok that was about how long does it take for you to decide to hire someone? I think for myself, it's about 10 hours. I think I watch about 10 hours of social media, YouTube, attending workshops, researching a coach. By the time I've done all that, I pretty much know, okay, I'm going to have a consultation and I'm probably going to hire him. How much time does it take you to decide? This is an important question because are you creating opportunities for people to spend that much time to get to know you? Or are you expecting that they should buy from just a few pieces of content that they can engage with? It's up to you to promote the product and services that you have to sell. What marketing is not is a post on social media. That might be something you put on a graphic from Canva and put on your Instagram, but don't expect anybody to engage with that. That's just 4 words on a graphic. That's what a lot of the AI generated content looks like. Beyond yourself, if your goal is just to get into social media and to just be there and prove to yourself you can do it month after month for the next 60 days, then fine. But if your goal is to get people to engage, to have conversations with you, then you have to consider if what you're writing is worthy of engagement. Effective marketing, again, is not AI generated content. Please understand you want to use AI to proof what you have, but not to answer things for you. You have the answers yourself of what it is that and what your expertise is. What is a plan? If you make a simple marketing plan and you follow it to create consistent revenue, that's going to be a plan. I'm going to give you the 5 places to market your business at the end and no spending money on paid ads. I mentioned this to a client in 2024 and she came back right away and said, "Oh my gosh, this is so true." I talk about your bratty brain, the negative voice in your head that is saying like, you're not going to get any clients. You don't know what to do. When you have a plan, you can enter into Monday morning and say, I know what I'm doing in my business. I know where I need to post. I know I have content already pre-scheduled. And I'm not talking about a bunch of content, a little bit of content gets pre-scheduled. And you're not spinning out with this overwhelmed feeling of, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? It's like, no, it's already decided what I'm going to do. And I already have a month of it already pre-scheduled and planned. It really does help you settle down. And this client was like, you're right. I feel so much less overwhelmed because I know what I'm going to do. What I know for sure is that if you know what to do, if you understand why you do it some way and how to do it, it's so much easier to get that done. That's for me in any of the work I do. Give me the why and the how, show me how to do it, and then I got it. So you right now are going to pay with your time until you're fully booked. Now, what do I mean by that? It means you're going to put your time into figuring out what to say. You're going to assess things, fix things, create things. And right now, you have to learn how to do this. A VA cannot do it for you. I want you to have a VA at some point, but today, as a solopreneur, your goal should be like, I'm going to get so good at my own marketing that somebody else can take it over. So you have to learn how to talk about yourself. So the cost of marketing equals the number of tries and the hours that you put in it. Let me ask you this. Would you market your business for a year? Would you do it for a year every single day to not get any results until, let's say, month 11? Are you committed to do that? I'm not saying it takes a year, but would you do that? If you had a business after that, let's just say generated $100,000 a year for the next 10 years, would you spend a year doing that? That's really what you have to think. I have to keep trying until I figure out, what do people respond to? I just started on TikTok in February. It's like, what are they interested in? What did I get one new follower for? But I'm looking at it every single day. That's the time that I'm putting in and the number of tries. I talk a lot about the storefront that you are. Because you have no retail space down the street with drive-by traffic, You have to create the retail space everywhere you are. That is your social media presence, whether it's on YouTube or LinkedIn or TikTok or Instagram, a Substack, wherever you are, including your website. People need to be able to drive by the new restaurant down the street. You got to drive by it a few times before you pull in. You ask other people about it. You have to provide that opportunity for your own business. Chances are you're like, why is my marketing not working? You have to learn how to be a copywriter to some degree. AI cannot do that for you. You have to learn some strategy. You have to learn how to look at the numbers correctly. So, are you willing to give yourself the time to build a brand and a reputation? That's a big question to ask. Somebody told me yesterday that they were thinking about quitting or going all in. And I said, at some point, there's decision time. Do you quit because you've messed around with it for too long, or do you go all in? And this woman was like, I actually haven't gone all in yet. You might be at that same crossroads. All right, I'm going to give you a basic plan for marketing $30,000 to $50,000. Now, if you are like 30 to 50, here's what I want to say. Pick any number you want to, but I'm all about somebody on this call making their first $100. We are all thinking about having a $5,000 a month, and we haven't made $1 yet. You think about the restaurant down the street that has $1 posted on the wall. We don't do that in coaching. I want you to make your first dollar. Yes, you maybe want to make more than 30,000 this year, but let's start making our first dollars first. Sometimes when the number's too big, we're not focused on that first micro step of how do I sell somebody today? How do I make that money? The first step is to make sure that you have beautiful curb appeal. Consistent image is everything. Many of you have seen the Canva training where I talk about doing a professional brand using Canva in 3 easy steps. It's all about consistent colors, lots of white space, consistent fonts, having that real professional image because people size you up instantly. And we're in a market with a lot of, I'm not going to say a lot of competition because honestly, there's so much opportunity, but just lots of people on Instagram, on wherever, flooding this space, not your competitors, but just lots of people. You have to look like a pro or people will not stop and engage with you. You're going to decide where you can be and do it consistently. And then communicating clearly is essential. When we work on this plan, you're going to decide what you could do, not what I tell you to do. I will tell you what the plan could be, but you're going to decide what you could do. One of the biggest ways people fail is that they leave something like this or like, I'm going to post 3 times a day, and they've never posted once a day. So I'm going to tell you in a minute to post every other day if you haven't even posted yet. See, I'm not going to tell you to post 4 times a day, every other day if you've never done it, because I need you to be successful at it first so you will continue to do it. The second step is to start and grow an email list. The only thing, you've heard it 100 times, that you own are email addresses. That's it. You can't control whether your Instagram posts get shown to anyone, which is why lots of the Instagram teachers are like, well, you have to post 10 times a day. Well, and that's not realistic, but that's why they're saying it, because there's no control over the algorithm. They're trying to flood the algorithm with lots of posts so that you increase your odds of being seen. You do increase your odds by being in more than one place. So grow an email list. You can do that by giving some kind of freebie. Our Design Live Thrive Summit, which many of you know about, is a way for people to grow an email list. They actually make a signature talk, which turns into a video training. They have a QR code where they get a guide or a freebie that comes with it. They're able to grow their list. But all of these are pretty easy steps, but I want to emphasize, don't ask Claude to create your freebie for you. You create the freebie, because every other coach out there can say to Claude, I'm a weight loss coach, create a freebie for me. Create something that has to do with what you know and your own personal story in it. That's going to be the difference maker. You can add your freebie, of course, to your website, which it really needs to be there. It can be in your link in your bio. It can be a simple PDF that you can download from Google Drive. We teach the second option is Flowdesk. So somebody can sign up with their email and opt in, and then Flowdesk automatically delivers it to you. This is something that is pretty easy to do, and Flowdesk is a great tool. It's a very simple email marketing tool to use. Once somebody gives you your email address, what they just said is, I'm inviting you to communicate with me. So you need to communicate with them. The first step in communicating with people is through nurturing. Nurturing is just loving them, right? It's having them get to know you, telling them what you do, giving them stories, things of interest to them, ideas of how they can make change in their business. I just finished a coaching call, and one of the people, she might be here, said, I love it that you give so much good value ahead of time. Give your best to people, give your best. You want them to see that this lady knows what she's talking about. People are going to hire you once they understand that you actually know what it is you're doing. So showcase your best value to them. I used to want to hold on to that. I was like, oh, like I'll just only tell them part of the information. And that's another one of those things that's promoted online. Give them the what they need to do, but don't tell them how. To me, that's not right. Give them everything so they can do one thing, and then they'll see why they should hire you. Newsletter communication. I don't call a regular weekly email a newsletter anymore because I don't think people want to subscribe to a newsletter, but you essentially want to decide yourself, how often am I going to talk to people regularly after I nurture them? The nurture process is typically maybe 3, 4 emails where they're getting to know you. Then they would start getting a regular email from you. So it's that regular check-in. You're calling your mom on Sunday. Hi, what's going on? That's the same thing with your clients. You're checking in with them. How do you want to do that? What day is it going to be? What's that going to look like? The client that I mentioned to you a few minutes ago, and she actually wrote her book out of all of her articles that she wrote in her email. She took all the articles over 3 years and made a book out of it. That's how much value she was delivering with those, and that's how much people love them. They came to her and said, you should write a book out of it. So how many emails are you willing to write? I used to tell people send 1 email a week, and now I would say you literally can't send too many emails. Now, decide on your baseline, 1 email a week. But the thing is, our inboxes are flooded with emails. If you go look at a store that you shop at, look how many you got today from a store. You got multiple from one store. So you got to compete with those people. Eventually, you're going to do more than 1 email. But today, start with that 1 weekly email. And then consistent look everywhere you go. That would be on your email header. That would be on your social media graphics, your website, your email, your signature, and your regular email that you send, everything matching. We provide something called the professional set of graphics for our coaches, the professional coach brand bundle. All of these are available. This is a very small sampling, but you can see when you look at this, I'm showing this so you can see what does it look like to have a brand that matches. It's this, like all the shapes, the design is all similar. You can do that on Canva and find things that are just like that. All of our graphics, and we have probably 1,000 different graphics total, can all be just changed by like anywhere it's dark blue, you can change it to your green. Anywhere that it's that font, you can change it. Everything that matches just creates a really elevated look, and it doesn't take any more time. If you're in Canva looking for social media graphics, just try to make sure they all look the same. Make your presentation look like same style as what your graphics are. The 5th is to plan and execute a very simple social media plan. Most of you, I'd love to know who's currently very active on social media, but most of the women that I talk to have not been on social media very much. They don't love the idea of exposing themselves. It sounds like not a great thing, but in reality, everybody is on social media. You need to be there too. And you're there probably consuming, or you wouldn't be here. That's why I know you're on social media too. So you're going to create themes. I'm going to show you a process here in just a second. Create themes, daily ideas. You're just going to make a simple idea for what you're going to talk about every single day, and that is it. I mentioned our social media confidence challenge. We teach each step of what to do and how to do it. Everything from whether you can do video or just graphic posts. I also want to just chime in and say having a faceless business is not what I recommend. Coaching is personal, and people want to see you, and they need to see you on social media. They need to see you on video because you're coming here to see me. Can you imagine if I was doing this training and I was off camera? I get these consultation calls regularly with people who want to have a faceless business, and I'm like, coaching is personal. They want to hire somebody that they see and that they connect with. Here's the simple plan that Carissa took a screenshot of. I'd recommend this if I were you, and she's been doing the same social media for 3 years. Now, how she's done it has changed. When she first started, She took this screenshot and she did graphics in Canva. And she made a graphic like on Monday, I got to find something about my niche to motivate somebody with. On Tuesday, I'm going to offer a tip. On Wednesday, I'm going to share a win. If you have not worked with clients, share a story about how you help somebody with a thing that you coach on. You can share a transformation that through free coaching somebody had. You can share your own transformation. And yes, testimonials, even if they're free coaching calls. Share your wins, teach a strategy. Please make sure if you are teaching a strategy that it is something people understand. The life coach school that I went to, people would want to show the model. Nobody knew what the model was. Nobody cared what the model was. Coaches cared what it was. They were proud of it, but make sure it's something that people understand. Niche-based facts, which I will say AI is really great at getting those. You can go to Claude or ChatGPT, either one, or wherever you go, and ask, give me a statistic of how many women in America over 50 are experiencing this thing and they're in this exact situation, and it will give you stats and references. That is an excellent way to use social media. Either one of those platforms, ChatGPT or Claude, are great for that. Then sharing a personal story. I want to pause for a moment, and I heard this today, and I'm going to do it myself. This person said, go over your camera roll. You can go and you can find the month. Go the last 5 years, which is a big ask. Let's start with 12 months. I'm going to go the last 5 years. Go to ChatGPT or to Claude. Find one picture in your month, every single month, and voice tell the story about that one picture. Go to the next month, voice tell the story, go to the next month, because that will be the content bank that then you can go to Claude or ChatGPT and say, I need help with some ideas about stories for social media. And I was like, that is the most brilliant idea. If you're somebody who's into health and wellness, you get to the point where it's like, I remember what it was like that day when I was on a hike and I realized that I had finally gotten in shape, that I was walking up the hill and I wasn't breathing too hard. That's a very brief story, but that's a story that could turn into social media content and email. I just think that's the most brilliant idea. That's one thing you can do when it comes to personal stories. Calling your clients into action. I always say when it comes to your freebie, you have to sell your freebie, which means you have to get somebody to give you the email address and know that it's of high value. That can be calling people to action. While you have a calendar that doesn't have clients on it, yes, of course you want to invite people to have consultations with you. Who doesn't want that? But I would also encourage you to invite people to have free coaching calls with you, because why not? If you are a great coach and you can help people with one problem, why would you not help them and let them see your value? This is how I built my business in 6 months from zero to $100,000 revenue, because I was finding people to talk to have free coaching calls with. And then when I'd have a call, I would say, is there anybody else you know that I could have a call with? And they would tell me their friend's name, and I would reach out to them on social media and try to have a call with them. Then repurposing your content. I'm going to show you. I know that we hear about this all the time on social media. I'm going to tell you about one email that could become 5 posts, could become a checklist, could even become a workshop. This is an email that I randomly found in Kajabi, where we email from, and I just took screenshots of it. And I was like, okay, if I was going to build 5 posts out of this, and mine would be talking. I like to do video more than I like to do graphics. To me, it's faster. And by the way, you can film yourself, the video, right here, 5 times. Make all kinds of mistakes, just video it again till you get to a point where you're like, that sounds decent enough. I think I'll share that one. You don't have to share the first one. If you were going to look at this and you were going to say, what would I put down for a post? You could talk about burnout. You could talk about how your drive drops. What does that look like when your drive drops in your business? You could talk about how or why. Like I get burned out sometimes when I've pushed myself too hard. Here's the 3 steps for getting over burnout. I could talk about what it looks like to take a break. I could talk about seeking inspiration. I could literally do an entire workshop over those 4 steps right there. I could have a quote about the desire and the dream that you have. I could talk about each one of those. What does desire look like in your business? What is the dream that you have? Why is it there? And what's the reason for it? You could talk about your purpose. We could go line by line, and I could write a social media post out of any of these. The reason why I could write a social media post out of any of these is because I wrote the email. I didn't ask Claude to write the email for me. Please write your own emails because then you know what you're saying right here. I didn't have to ask, how do I get out of burnout? I wrote down what I know gets me out of burnout. It's easy for me to go on and write more content from that. The sixth thing that I want to talk about is having a website. And I know there's some people who are like, you don't need a website yet. But if somebody wants to look at your website and you don't have one, I can almost guarantee that you're not going to get the business. The website is part of that curb appeal. It's one more place that somebody sees you. It's one more thing that you do that elevates you from everybody else. When you have a website, you can go look at my website, debbieshadid.com, that is spacious, that is clean and organized, and the content flows very easily. It's easy. And the biggest thing is that it looks good on your phone. That's the number one thing. It has calls to action. It tells people what to do. All of those things are super, super important. And if you do a good website, you don't have to update it very often. Once you establish your brand and your message, who you're talking to, everything you create can stay and remain the same, which is beautiful. Networking. I talked to a lady yesterday and I was so excited because she said, I love to network. I know we've got somebody on here who works in her local market. Susan helps small businesses in her local market. It is the easiest way. Susan can go to networking because there's local networking. The rest of us are online trying to find our person. What group do they hang out in? While this might be uncomfortable, our new client, Emily, was like, I sat in my car, I was scared to death. And then I had to remind myself, these are just people in there. Go in and talk to them. She was like, it's the best experience ever. You're scared because you don't know what to say, but I would highly encourage you to go to networking. Here's the problem with networking. You think networking is selling. Networking is not selling anything. Networking is meeting people. If you will remove that whole idea, I have to say that I help statement. I have to know what I'm offering. You don't need to know any of that. You walk into the room and you're a human and you're like, hi, I'm Debbie Shadid. They're like, what do you do? And you're like, I help women in their business. It doesn't have to be anything special. Just go in. You'll learn how to talk about your business. You'll learn how to have a natural conversation. I think we've all forgotten how to do that. But please, local networking, it's a big thing you should be doing, and it is the fastest way to grow your business, honestly. And it's also the fastest way to learn if what you're saying matters to people. Collaboration. This is our coaching directory. And I put it up here because when we think about collaborating, we're like, either I need to find somebody who does exactly my thing and I'm going to collaborate with them. And I would say that's one way to think about it. Then you start feeling like, yeah, but if I collaborate with them, then they might get my client. No, because you get the clients that are meant for you. But what I would rather have you think about is collaborating with people that are in completely different businesses. Because if you get together with somebody else, then you have somebody else's friends and they have your friends. You get together and do an event. We have a former client, Danielle, who was doing events at her home. She'd have 3 or 4 people that would come together. They would all invite their girlfriends and they'd do a home-based party. And she was talking about coaching. Right now on YouTube, you can do YouTube videos and there's a collaboration setting. So yours can go on your page and theirs can go on their page. All of those are great options. And look, it's much easier to do something the first time with somebody than to do it by yourself. Take a friend to a networking event or collaborate on YouTube together. Sharing transformations, testimonials, stories. Stories sell. That is the bottom line. The absolute thing that is different between you and AI is AI has never lived a day in anybody's life. You have lived many days in your life and you have real stories to tell, real stories. That's what you have to build your business on now is the stories that you have. They're more important than ever. So share stories about what happened with somebody and how it happened and what happened with you and how you felt and how you feel now. This was from my website. Some of these are stories that I've told. Some of them are stories that they told. Whatever works for you, share stories. You don't have to share pictures if you don't want to, but if you have them, it's probably look at those and you're like, oh, okay. It seems more relatable because there are pictures there. Mindset work. Now, I know we're talking about marketing, the marketing plan, the 10-step marketing plan. But here's the deal. You have to have your mind in the right place or the marketing that you do will not be any good. If you are not really thinking about what you're doing and you're not in this space where I have so much value to deliver, your marketing is going to be no good. I'm just telling you. You have to be in that frame of mind. Eventually, once you start doing enough marketing, you'll be able to go back and find the posts, the social media posts, or whatever it is where you were flat that day. And you can look and see, that's interesting. I didn't get any comment or engagement on that post. And I can guarantee it's because you showed up with low energy. It's either a mindset of belief, it's the energy that you bring, it's the creative feeling that you have. I was talking about like you have to brainwash yourself into believing every single day that what you're doing is worth it. As a solopreneur, it's you. You're the only person that can tell you that you're doing good. If you don't have results or if you are not doing something consistently, the first question you have to answer is why? Why are you not doing it? We're in business for ourselves. There's nobody else to do it but us. So that's one of the advantages eventually to get to where you work ahead. You've got things scheduled. Like I have a week's worth of Substack and TikTok scheduled out. I know at least for the next week, I'm kind of covered. That's where you want to get to. Okay. Then the last step is just assessing and adjusting and repeating. When I said earlier, would you take a year to build your business? If you said yes, and you've adjusted and you've assessed and you've looked at it and you have learned how to talk about your business better, you've learned what people are interested in, if you've done all that, you will have a business. But you can't just keep putting the same thing out there and say nothing's working. Nothing works until it does work. It is about looking it over. All of the little subtle things. If they're not responding, why didn't they respond? If you sent an email and nobody clicked on it, how do I get somebody to click on this email? Those are questions that you have to answer yourself. The last thing I want to say is when you consume so much information, and I'm grateful that you're here, I really am. But if you are listening to me and you're listening to 10 other people, what you're finding out is that none of us said the same thing. And all that leaves you is wondering, like, what is the right thing to do? There are no shortcuts. There are no hacks. I keep preaching about this 6 to 12 months. Would you go all in doing that? Meeting people, telling people. I could highlight this telling people part, meeting people part. Like we're good sometimes at posting, but we're not actually telling anyone, hey, I'm available to be hired. Have you done all of that? In 2025, I hired 2 coaches. They talked to me about passive income. Nothing is passive. Even the passive courses that we once would have built were not passive because you have to still market everything. So our market is a live, breathing thing that we have to feed and nurture every single day. So you can get to a point, as I mentioned, where you repeat things and you repurpose things. Step 4 in the Profitable Coach Framework is where you learn how you get to repurpose things. Here's the recap, and then I'm going to give you the steps. This is the ways that you could improve your marketing. Polish up your curb appeal that we've talked about. Think of it as having a boutique. If you had a boutique, you would want it to look nice on the front. It's spring. You probably would put flowers out there. Think about your curb appeal of your business. Does it look good? Grow an email list, and you have to sell your freebie to grow an email list. When you go to a networking event, get somebody's email address and add it to your email list. Then nurturing is basically teaching people what you do. So it's 3 or 4 emails that I talked about, introducing what their problem is, what it would look like if they had the problem solved, and how you help them. And then staying in contact with them through their regular newsletters or whatever weekly emails you're going to send. Using Canva, as I showed you in that professional coach bundle. Making that content plan. I showed you that on social media. The 7 things that you could every day write about differently. Making sure that your website is fresh and up to date. And the most important part of your website is right here. You have to tell people on this part only who you help, what you help them with. They have to be able to see it all right here. They don't care about your certification, what your coaching title is, nothing. They need to know that they're in the right spot and it all has to fit right here. They need to see themselves in that section of your website. Then networking, sharing transformation, doing the mindset work, and then adjusting over and over. Here's the plan. 1 email a week. This is to start. Some of you might be saying, oh, I can do more than 1. Let's do 1 first. You got to learn the technology. You got to decide on your format. You need to know what the content's going to say. You got to figure out how to get your first email address into the platform and how to check the links and all the things. Then post every other day. If you have never posted, well, I want you to post every day of the entire year. Let's just start with every other day. If you're already somebody that's posting a bunch, then I would say post 2 or 3 times a day if you're already posting a bunch. But that's not what most of you have done. You're going to post every other day to start. Host 1 or 2 workshops. Probably in the beginning, that's going to be 1. We actually have a whole framework for what a workshop includes. But just so you kind of know, it's like send a couple of emails to invite people. You have your pre-social media graphics to invite people. You have the actual workshop. You don't have to do slides. You can just sit on camera and talk to people. You could do open group coaching session. There's many different gathering kind of things that you could do. So once a month, you're basically hosting an opportunity for somebody to get to know you. That can be in person. Your event could be at a yoga studio, and you could invite people to come and learn from you about breath work and calming the nervous system at a yoga studio instead of trying to do it online. Attend 1 in-person networking event a month. For a lot of you, if you want to stay home and do your online business, if you'll get out, it's really going to help your business. I promise you, because you'll learn how to talk about your business. And then meet 1 new person a week. And I don't mean, hi, I'm Debbie. Meet the person. Know something about them. They get to know about you, and you know them well enough that you could say next week, hey, did you have a great week? Well, did you have fun with your granddaughter at the pool? That's what I mean. Meet somebody. The point is that after 1 year, if you met 1 new person a week and they knew what you did, do you know how many other people might know what you did? Because they'll tell people. If you go to 1 networking event a month and you have the courage to talk to 6 people, not 50 people, but 6 people, 6 times 12, what is that, 72 people? We're talking about meeting a lot of people that then know people. This is why I want you talking to people. And then growing your email list through your opt-in. That's what the plan is. 1 email a week, posting every other day, 1 event or 2 events a month, attending 1 in-person networking, meeting 1 new person a week, and then always growing your email list. That actually happens at all those places. On social media, you're asking people to opt in to something, right? At a workshop, you guys signed up for my workshop, you're on my email list now. When you go to a networking event, they're finding out about you and you're saying, hey, I've got something for you. Can I have your email address so I can send it to you? I always tell this story, and I have to tell it one more time. The coach school that I went to, the highest earning coach told us that when she went to Las Vegas and was by the pool and somebody would ask her what she did, she would tell him, and then she would hand him her phone and say, hey, give me your email address. That's exactly why the woman made $14 million a year. A lot of people don't have the courage to do that, but this woman was committed to her business. I'm sorry, that's how you're always growing your email list, which will then grow your business. Okay, here's the $1 million question. I'm going to talk to you about our social media plan. I'm going to talk to you about the summit, which is an incredible opportunity that we have 5 spots on. I don't want you guys to miss that opportunity. So you have the marketing plan. It is exactly what I just told you. You can establish yourself as an authority by showing up and being the authority, and you can build and grow a coaching business. But the thing is, you have so many questions. That's what keeps you from having the results that you want to have. You have to answer these questions again. The only way that we move forward is by answering questions ourselves. If you don't know what to say, can you answer that question? Not ChatGPT, but can you answer the question of how would I learn what to say, or what could I start saying instead of staying stuck? I'm not sure if what I'm saying is right. If you have questions about your niche, how could you today decide, I'm just going to pick a niche? I'm just going to decide that what I'm wondering about is my niche, and I'm going to go on. I'm going to tell you what, y'all, you are putting so much weight on your niche. And while I have a whole blueprint process on niching, just pick a niche and get on with it. Pick a niche and get on with it. That's the only way that you will know if your niche is good. And by the way, pick a niche and get on with it, and then don't change your niche. If you're not sure what the next step should be, figure out where you're at and what you think the next step should be, and then find out what the next step should be. There's so many resources available. A lot of you are wondering the name of your program. And again, I'm just going to burst your bubble and say it doesn't matter. Neither does your business name. Your name can be your business name. Just pick a name. And what we put so much weight and effort on, those things will come together later. Just start your business with your first and last name. And you don't even need a coaching program name. Just say, I offer group coaching. And then the options are today either stay overwhelmed, unsure. I talk to women all the time who've been working on their niche for 2 years, or they've been working on their offer. If you are working on your offer before you have clients, there's a high chance your offer is not going to work because your offer needs to deliver what you know your ideal client's going to want. I want you to change your reality. I want to tell you about the Design Live Thrive Summit. It's an incredible opportunity. I want you to say yes to having a business that is so fulfilling. I cannot tell you how fun it is to have a business where you actually get to do what you really want to do instead of just talking about it. Instead of waiting months, stop talking about it and start doing. So I showed you guys the business building boutique for coaches. It's the 4 essential components. Now you see an overview how this works. The be seen as successful, that has to do with really knowing your niche, having a brand image. You're the brand of the business. It's your image. And I don't mean what you look like, but how you show up, the energy behind your brand, the things that you say, the colors, the fonts, the logos, all that's your brand image. Then becoming well known, you become well known by talking about yourself. You become well known by putting yourself out there. If you want to be the go-to expert in your space, which who doesn't want to be, you have to put yourself out there. Do you know what you're going to become known for? That's step number 1. Then where are you going to put yourself out there? And even more fun is you get to design your reputation ahead of time. What do you want people to say about you? And then we've talked about all the marketing, all the free marketing. There's many ways to market your business for free. And social media is not the only thing. There's lots of ways to do it. And then finally getting to a place where you can enjoy your business and you're not working 7 days a week, where you can have that flexibility and freedom that we all want. If you didn't want flexibility and freedom, you could work for somebody else and get a paycheck. But because you want to do this in your way, on your own time schedule, you have to figure out how to make a business that kind of works on repeat. The Business Building Boutique, it is our signature program. It is really my personal playbook that I put together. We give you the specific directions. We literally have a guidebook, an entire guidebook on how to build your coaching business. It's everything that is given to you, very niche specific, and it's based on exactly where you are in your business. And we give you real answers and real feedback exactly for the question that you have. You can learn how to attract your best clients. You can learn how to talk to people, which is a big, big obstacle with marketing. You can create a signature offer that people want to buy, and you can learn how to price in a way that feels good to you, so you can comfortably sell it without twisting people's arms. Our coaching experience is the Business Building Boutique roadmap process that I talked about, the Profitable Coach framework. We not only want you to learn, but we want you to implement when you work with us. Our most successful clients, those ones that I was telling you about earlier, they did the work while they worked with us. Karina, she didn't want to put herself out there, but finally she's like, if I'm going to have a business, I have to. So she kept asking us, does this post sound okay? Does this look okay? What could I do to improve that? We provide you with the templates, the email copy. You copy our things and fill in the blank. We help you make offers. Like, how do you make your offer? Is this a good offer? We help you learn how to work with clients. That's another funny thing. It sounds like you should know how to work with a client. You get yourself 5 clients, and what you'll find yourself first is overwhelmed because it's like, wait, how do I manage this? There's skills to all of this that nobody's talking about. And then just learning how to talk about your coaching everywhere you go. How do you do that? You also have access to Pixie, which is our custom GPT. That is my copywriting process that I put into AI to help people be able to craft a message that sounds like them. Once you do that, this month, anybody that I work with is going to get their message written by me. We're going to start with your beginning step, and I'm going to rewrite it for you. You'll further define your niche and all of that. Let me talk about the summit. Y'all that are interested in those few summit spots, I want to make sure I get to that. There's a professional coach bundle that you have access. We teach technology. We teach you how to use the tech that is keeping you from getting your business built. Let me show you how we're going to help you accomplish this. This is literally the biggest marketing opportunity of the entire year. We are getting ready to host our 5th summit. We have 5 remaining spots of the 30 spots. Everything that I just told you is done with you in the summit, and you're not doing it alone. You're doing it with us. We write the marketing emails for you using your story and your details. We tell you when to schedule them. We show you how to do it. We create the social media graphics with your picture on it. We write the captions. If you prefer to do a real video without a social media graphic, we have a script for you. We do that on all of the posts that you need to do. It's all aligned with a schedule that fits with the summit enrollment time. We position you as the expert in your niche, the authority. We help you craft a signature talk. We give you the graphics, teach you how to use the presentation slides. We teach you how to do the whole thing. You practice your talk with us so you can get over having stage fright. You're doing it virtually through Zoom webinar. We pay for the ads for you. It's a collaborative marketing effort with 30 coaches and my email list, and I run ads for it. You walk away with calls booked because our VIP ticket upgrade for the summit, we have a VIP ticket upgrade. It includes 2 coaching calls, and the attendees get to book calls with the coaches that they want to have a call with. We teach you how to have the 30-minute call. All of that is part of what we do in the summit. So it's really putting into practice the entire marketing thing I just told you about. This month also, we have a social media challenge and training. Tice, our mindset coach, actually teaches you every step of how to do social media, what you're going to talk about, how to video, how to edit, all those things. We're going to spend the next 6 to 8 weeks doing in-depth training. I know this is a big pain point for a lot of people. They don't want to put themselves out there. They don't want to show their whole life. And guess what? You don't have to. Now, as I mentioned, you can't have a faceless brand. Your face does need to be part of it, but it doesn't mean that you have to show what you had for dinner. It doesn't mean that you have to show the intimate part of your life. There's a balance that needs to be struck. All of that gets worked out in our social media challenge. Plus, I'm going to put you on my YouTube channel. I'm going to do an episode with you, which gets you featured in front of my audience. I have pretty good following on YouTube and many other places, but it will help you build authority and the visibility that you need outside of social media. We also will give you clips that you can use on your own social media platforms. Plus, you can collaborate with me and put this video on your social media as well. So this is the combined stack of things that we have. We do need to talk. I need to find out what your niche is. I need to find out where you're at in your business, if this even makes sense. Our VIP clients can have a summit seat. Anybody that joins me can have the podcast feature spot. You have access to all the things that you're seeing, plus the social media challenge that started today. Nola, who is a former client, said, I went from being confused and overwhelmed to working with Debbie, where she walked me through the action steps, through the obstacles. I recommend Debbie without hesitation. She walks beside you and helps you see the way forward and holds you accountable. Please schedule a time. I'm going to answer your questions, debbieshadid.com. If you are interested in one of those 5 spots, just take out your phone right now and get on my calendar. Thank you so much. I look forward to meeting with you. 5 summit spots left. I cannot explain to you what a beautiful opportunity that is. If you want to be in the summit and you don't know yet what it is, go find me on YouTube and listen to the interviews. It is a business changing opportunity. I can tell you that for sure. So anyway, have a wonderful and blessed day. Thanks for being here.